right. Yeah, this is a bit different. Artie and Mike. This is Artie's podcast. Bocchetti's on it. So yeah, this was requested because I've been doing the weather playlist. So I thought, yeah, I'll start this tonight. I won't do all of it tonight because it's 10 past midnight now. So I'll probably do 20 minutes or something just to see, yeah, get a taste of it. So yeah, this is the first time Mike was on there. Let's go. Oh yeah, this is episode 8 of the Artie Lange's Quitter podcast. Let's go.
Hey, welcome back to the Artie Quitter podcast. My sister's here with her dog, Vinny. Stace has 3 dogs these days, and one of them's Vinny. What's up, Stace? You got to talk. Give her that mic.
Hi, Art.
How you doing, Stace?
Good, thanks.
And you have Vinny here. I got to say, Dan Filato, my roommate and now producer, or producer now roommate, is a big dog guy, and hearing him do his doggy voice, it's very disconcerting. It's very like, ooh, I get the chills. Like hey, how you doing? How you doing? Who's that big boy? Who's that big boy? He goes, who's that big boy? And then he told me about a problem that one of the dogs had with their ass while they were at the vet. And he goes, oh yeah, Vinny was having trouble. He couldn't poo. I said, we're 2 adults, Dan. We're 2 adult men in a living room. Say he couldn't shit or something. He couldn't poo. Vinny couldn't poo. And so he's at the vet. And then he goes, oh, who's that big boy? Who's that big doggy? Who's that in that Chicago? Like, who's that big doggy boy? Who's that big doggy boy? And I'm like, oh my God! Oh my God! Talk like a man.
I love it, Art. I talk to my brother's dog like that.
Mike, please. Dan, any defense? Your thoughts? Your thoughts on this?
I think Mike and I should get a dog together.
I had the over-under at like half a minute before you busted his chops. That was getting Mike, please.
Stace,
You're talking.
Stace, I know you love Dan because he's into dogs, but does that creep you out as a woman when he does that voice?
That's not a no. Does it creep you out when he's about to talk and say, I'm going to do it doggy style, looking at your dog? Does that creep you? Creep you out?
Do you feel... Now,
just trying to help.
Be serious, Stace, because he's been alone with the dogs. Do you feel Dan has made love to any of your dogs?
No.
Okay.
That was a slow roll.
Right, because some people in the family disagree.
Yeah, but he just loves animals, Art. They're the best. Better than people.
But I feel you fuck dogs too, though.
No.
So you're not anybody to talk.
No, I say to my brother's dog, hi, baby.
See, that's disgusting.
Did you just hear that, Dan? Do you understand? Hi, baby. Do that again.
Hi, baby. I love animals.
Just isolate that, please.
Would you isolate that? And then can we get a boom mic and hook it up to the back of a windowless white van? Can we please do that? Can we just walk down the street and have Mike's face plastered on the side and then just go down like Chamber Street?
That's why I love Jim Biscotti. That was one of the quickest. That's one of the quickest, best jokes I've ever heard.
Can we do that?
A windowless white van.
And just his voice, hi, baby. And we'll call it the Mike Bocchetti.
No, just play that. Just play that, hey, baby.
And then we'll call it the Mike Bocchetti Keeping It a Secret
but
tour.
Then right after that, you hear Dan go, we can't poo. Our dog can't poo.
Oh, my God.
Do it again, Mike.
Hi, baby.
Oh.
I love that dog.
Hi, baby can't poo.
Oh, I shouldn't have an erection when he does that, though, right? I shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't.
That's
you should never
weird.
have an erection.
It's weird.
Yeah, Mike, so you're a big dog lover then too, Mike?
Yeah, better than people. I love animals a lot better.
Well, they shouldn't say that, Mike. So if you could save your like one of your cousins or a dog in a fire, what would you save?
It depends which cousin it is.
So you would save... well, there's some human beings you'd rather die, child molesters and stuff. If you
Yeah, oh yeah. No, they should burn in eternity.
So you'd rather save a dog than a child molester?
Is it burn in eternity or burn for eternity?
Gino, you're going to start correcting him?
Because I can't. That preposition is just dangling.
But if you're
there.
going to start correcting him, we're going to be here all fucking day.
In eternity is not a place.
You should correct that hippie paraphernalia.
Can everyone on the podcast see what he's pointing at? No.
Let's talk.
Stop it.
Is that, Gino, is that your way of making...
They're going to be looking for that in eternity.
You're making fun of us.
Being liberal.
Gino's making fun of us for not having the budget for a video component.
No, I'm just saying he knows we don't have a video component.
Look at those.
We're getting a video component.
This is Greenwich Village.
My nephew made that. It's Charger colors, and it's good luck for my podcast.
I'm sorry.
This is a group of guys that could creep out a woman that quick.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. So Vinny's gonna come over here. Now, what do you think of Mike? What do you think of Stace? What kind of dog is that?
He's a Brussels Griffon.
You know what? I always get dogs, dog types confused with Christmas tree types. Like, is that a Brussels Griffon or a Scotch fur or a? I don't understand. That's a Brussels Griffon.
Yeah, like the dog and as good as it
Do they shed like Christmas trees?
Yeah. No, they don't shed at all.
Oh, that's the as good as it gets dog.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
okay. You know, we were talking about Helen Hunt in that movie, and
He
I
said
find
Hunt.
why it doesn't work for me is she's asexual to me. Do you find Helen Hunt asexual?
I kind of like, what's her name? I just seen her.
I'm not asking you who you
Yeah,
like.
yeah. You have to answer the question.
I can name a
Just looking up Helen Hunt.
million women I find.
I
I'm
forgot what
talking
she
about-
looks like.
Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt?
Yeah, I think she's
Well,
blonde
she was
with like
in one of the biggest sitcoms ever in a movie, but why would you think that?
No, she had like a Dutch boy haircut.
I think she's very sexual. I'm attracted to Helen Hunt.
Nice breasts.
Yeah.
That one
Pretty
scene where
face,
she's
great.
Her shirt is wet when she comes to his
Yeah,
apartment.
she covers them up.
Nicholson, but again, you take Nicholson like in plenty of movies. You take Nicholson out of that movie, but you take Nicholson out of Cuckoo's Nest. It's not as good.
See, I disagree. I think the writing in that movie, as good as it gets, obviously Cuckoo's Nest,
sometimes
is great.
Sometimes Jim Brooks comes through.
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of funny lines in that. I thought.
I don't know. I think it's a tad overrated, but he's great in it, and there's a lot of good lines. Helen Hunt she reminds me of like Ellen DeGeneres a little bit.
No, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying no. No
David
way.
Spade had the best thing. Before Ellen DeGeneres came out and she was doing stand-up on the road, Spade, who thinks every girl wants to fuck him for some reason, Spade, and he does very well, by the way, but Spade was on the road with her. I think he was doing. He told me this story. This is funny Spade sarcasm. He was at the Dallas Improv with her, and they were, working together. She was middling, he was middling, headlining her. They were going back and forth, whatever. So they were in a hotel room together, and he was hitting on her. Yeah, I'm hitting on her, and nothing happens the whole weekend. And I was wondering why. And then a couple of years later, I got the news. That's the way he said it.
She had that thing.
Yeah. Well, you guys are comedians, maybe.
That's what I'm hearing.
I want to. Well, first of all, there's a big show business feud with the Bocchetti Biscotti.
Oh yeah, never
there's
ends.
a feud.
I got some people from Hills of Sicily.
There's a big
after him right now.
Well, not like Mike.
There's a big feud with Mike in the English language. I have no problem with them. They just don't click.
Yeah, but at least they would have had traffic lights. You live like way in
Know
like
what that
Jersey.
means? See,
like-
there he is abusing the language again.
so-
You are the Ray Rice of the American lexicon.
at least
You just
I-
smack it
Can
around.
I tell you my favorite joke of the podcast so far in the 2 weeks is the windowless white fan.
Thank you very much.
With Mike Boschetti's voice.
That's right. Daddy digs deep when he comes on the Artie
He
Lange
does. He loves
podcast.
to-
Now you
loves
just
to go
ruined
for
it.
I know.
Saying Daddy digs deep.
Daddy digs deep.
He always keeps throwing
Combined
that
with
tagline in.
Dan going poo.
That's alliteration. I'm sorry.
What were you saying, Mike? I'm
That
sorry.
tagline, Daddy. Shut up with Daddy. You're not an 80-year-old man with a girl half your age. You know what I mean?
Actually, I was practically.
Oh
for a
yeah, that's
while.
right. She was hot.
She left me.
I loved a nice girl.
She wised up.
Now, Mike, how is your love life going? You've lost a lot of weight.
I'm trying. I still get hit on by foreign women in Facebook. They wanna-
Foreign women?
Yeah, like other countries. Like in my
But didn't you have a lot of
Called
bad luck with
Russian
that?
escorts, Michael.
Weren't you catfished quite a bit?
Oh yeah. I learned the right away. I mean, like
What
when
happened there?
When I see like a woman that had no friends in common with me, that's smoking hot, and I'm like, oh, forget this. She's playing the game here.
But did you ever actually go try to meet someone?
Yeah, I almost did. She was super young though. That was when we were on the show. She was like,
Now be careful.
Oh,
Be careful.
no.
Yeah, no, you don't want to.
No, I'd rather
get
see a
arrested.
woman-
How young are we talking?
probably like 20 years old, but that's super ridiculous.
Yeah, but 20 years old is one thing.
No, but that's insane. Dan
What's your
gave me-
biggest age difference, Mike? The biggest difference in age, between a chick you boned.
No, but Dan is right. Dan was always right about one thing.
Does he
about
ever
that.
answer the questions
No,
directed
I'm trying
at him,
to
or does he?
I'm trying to answer.
That's a very good question. Humid. I'd say it's humid.
Well,
in
when
Phoenix.
you ask the question and then don't stop talking.
but
Give us
somewhere
the
in
biggest
the-
age difference, Mike. How about
Somewhere in
and
the
then he
ramble,
does-
I answer it.
And then he does crowd work.
No, but Dan always was right about a
Lawyer,
lot,
my
a lot
arm's
of things
tired,
because
Mike.
having someone in like 10 years younger is not too bad. But the woman that I was chasing
Well, you're
was
61.
ridiculous.
I mean, you're 61 years old.
But I want a woman that was like, like late 20s or early 30s.
Somehow when Mike says "woman I'm chasing," it doesn't conjure up the same picture as, like, say,
First of
Brad
all,
Pitt is chasing Angelina
if
Jolie.
a woman, if you're able
He's
to catch,
chasing her with an
if you're
axe.
able to catch a woman, she's
Chloroform.
probably. If you're able to catch, I'm gonna wait for Gino to stop talking.
I'm sorry.
If you're waiting, if a woman is fat enough for you to catch her, you don't want to fuck her anyway, right? Because you can't run. I mean, not David Beckham.
Yeah.
I mean, like, who can you catch?
Nobody really. I'm not a good runner.
Yeah, you don't catch a woman by outrunning them. You bait them with a pie or something.
I mean,
Look,
yeah,
I caught her.
If you told me I caught a woman running, I'm like, so you're dating Roseanne Barr.
Well, I wouldn't mind how she got some dough.
Would you date a woman just for the money at this point? Would you be a gigolo?
Yeah, I mean, I want to have a house on Palmer Park Avenue.
He's a jiggle a lot.
A couple of Rolex watches, Movado. Yeah, I don't care.
You went from Rolex to Movado. You went from $4,000 to like $8 on the street. Well, listen, I hope that happens.
I'm only kidding. I could never do that.
I think, listen though, you gotta put one foot in front of the other, like the Abominable Snowman and the Rudolph.
I love that. Do you ever tape that?
Yeah,
I think Jason.
Yeah, I'm just saying you have to you got to go out the door, man. You gotta. I mean, not always be afraid of being catfished. I mean, it might happen every once in a while. You might be arrested, do some time, but that's all right. You have to attack life.
I know. There's a lot of hot women out. Like at the benefit we did the other night, there were some hot women there.
Okay, let's talk about that. We did a benefit. Rick Shapiro, who is a comic that we all love, unique comedian, has Parkinson's disease, unfortunately. They say that drugs might not have anything to do with it. I think the 8 million Adderall Rick has taken might have something to do with it, or the methamphetamine, or the street hustling that he did in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Gino, your thoughts?
I think the man has committed to where he is right now in life. He doesn't backpedal on anything.
He's got a great
done.
wife.
His wife is great.
Girlfriend, she really sticks up
But
for
it's
him.
not like you can spend Rick's amazing, and you could spend an entire day with him, and not once will he be like, "What the hell was I doing?" He's all about where he is now and moving forward. I love that. He doesn't have an ounce of regret.
Right.
Which is great.
He lives in L.A. where, again, he was saying this on the podcast a couple of days ago. He's not a mainstream comedian, Rick, and out there it's kind of hard because you get all these younger guys who just have 7 solid, tight, neat minutes that are not controversial. They take no risks. They want a sitcom. They all want the sitcom.
Yeah.
Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, but I made a mistake out there. Could have hit me in the butt out there.
You made a mistake. You got hit in the butt? Could you poo?
Almost. It was kind of catastrophic. But
Catastrophic. I'm not going to say anything. Catastrophic.
catastrophic. Sorry.
Yeah, what happened, Mike?
You know the golden rule of comedy. When you go out to L.A.,
Never fuck a dog in front of people?
don't.
That's the second show of comedy.
You never know who's watching. You just have something solid you're working on, right? I went up there.
Is that the golden rule of comedy?
That's the first time I've been in comedy 27 years. I never heard that.
No. I'm just saying, if you're gonna have a showcase center, you know what I mean. I went out there. I was halfway through my act. And I started improv.
35 seconds in.
No, I started.
He was on the second knock. Knock, knock. Folks are halfway through.
That's when you usually close with a beefsteak Bruno's or wherever, Gene.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, I improv.
Were you afraid to get a lawsuit from Beefsteak Charlie's?
Yeah.
You changed the name?
Not around anymore.
Why'd you say Beefsteak Bruno?
We got a cease and desist from Beefsteak Charlie's.
No.
You get on him. He just said decent desist. You could have fucked with him now.
Well,
Laughing too hard.
life is fucked with him enough, so you know.
So you were doing a set. You're halfway through. What
and I
happened?
started improvising like crazy, and it killed.
You improv.
I just got off my act and just improved. Right?
Well, what does that say about your act?
No. But the thing is,
Why did you get off your act? Was it not working?
No, I was having fun, and I just felt so comfortable up there, and I just didn't even care.
Yeah. And how long did you improv for?
Maybe like half of it at least, like 20 minutes.
Do you remember anything you were saying in the improv?
No, it just happened in the moment.
No. Well, you have to remember something. If it was killing that hard, because this is how you could write new material. We all have been there where you think of new shit on stage. With Gino, it's usually somebody else's joke. But, you think of new... Are you worried about that, the Robin Williams thing, where I thought I improv'd it, but it was really something Mitch Hedberg said?
That's why I don't like watching a lot of people, because you start to write stuff and you're like, did I say this or is it mine?
Yeah, is that true, Gino?
What?
You don't like watching other comics because you might steal from them?
No, not necessarily, because I think you have that, at least you have that inner voice where you know when it's yours. And how many times have you seen a comic start doing a bit that's exactly the same premise as yours, and they go in a completely different direction? Like, oh my God, you know?
And sometimes it's better.
Right. Oh, without a doubt. You're like, how did I not think of that?
In your case, it's probably every single time.
It's like, again, why did that? I suck.
No,
but the one thing
you do a lot of stream of consciousness stuff. You do, like you're great at crowd work, and you are quick.
Yeah.
But do you ever think, did that ever happen on the road where you go, oh wow, I think that was somebody else's joke?
No, but then again, it's like, I shy, like, the stuff I do in my mind it's like just stuff I've been doing for so long. And one time I was at a show in Anchorage, quit bragging, and some guy's like,
Anchorage, Alaska.
And I've always said this. Some guy's like, oh, you stole that. And I'm like, I want to know who did that joke. I've always said this. I'm like, I want to know who did that joke. Because if you're stealing jokes, do you steal them from you, Artie, or do you steal them from me? Do you steal them from a guy like you?
No, it depends on if it's funny or not. It doesn't matter.
No, but my point is, it's like this happened when it's like it's easier to steal from a guy like me that headlines all over the country and shit gigs that no one's gonna see on TV.
Well, what about the other way? Like, you had to be livid, and I felt bad for you when I saw this. Because he got all the attention when Michael Richards stole your nigger bed.
Yeah, I know. I was livid.
I mean, come on.
Well, he didn't say please
I
at the
said
end.
Gino Bisconti's been doing this for years. Never really, just when you have bets on football games, never on stage. And whenever I hear you do that, whenever I heard you do that alone, I'd say, you got to do that on stage.
First of all, I don't...
Yell out nigger 8 times.
First of all, I don't see color. I don't see colors, actually. There aren't any here, right? I couldn't see them if they were. I don't do a lot of... I'm not racist.
No one's going to steal that joke, which is good.
But... No, but I was getting back to the one thing I do worry about when I hang out with like Levy. When I first started, I was like with Levy a lot.
Levy, there's a lot to worry about.
But it wasn't like I was stealing his bit, but I was becoming his mannerisms, you know, because I was touring with them all. And
Levy?
Well, I was saying like fucker a lot, and like I gotta, you know, and then I moved on.
That's the bit you stole, saying fucker?
No, I'm not saying you don't steal the bit.
Let me tell you
You
something.
start using guys' mannerisms.
You're right. When you hang out with someone funnier than you, which in your case is everyone in the world.
I mean, I'm stealing 3 things from your sis here.
No, Stacey's very funny, actually.
cracks
But
me up.
let me tell you something. You're right. When you hang out with someone funnier than you know what happens with the most is Dave Attell.
I was about to say, how many guys talk like Attell?
They start getting his cadence.
Oh, without
a lot
a
of the newer kids, and you know who else? Norm. People take from Norm.
I can see that. Yeah, Hedberg was like that.
And Mitch Hedberg too was didn't steal from Norm. People stole from him. I mean,
right.
But yeah, you're right.
It's that cadence you get. There's so many guys that talk like Attell now. You know, it's like
that's always been.
But it's not. It's just. It's almost a reverence to it. It's like this guy, you watch him so much.
Yeah, but still, you don't want to.
No, you don't. But it's not stealing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just influence. You know, it's like a parlance almost.
Well, but then it'll affect your career in a bad way.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because
people hear the cadence and think it's
they'll consider it stealing. Something that's an original Mike Bocchetti bit is yelling and screaming with Dan Filato, our producer. They got into a couple of classic fights over the years.
Yeah, well,
Dan had the audacity of bringing up Mike's family.
Oh, no.
And he rubbed Mike the wrong way at our old show. And just listen to this.
All right, I've been helping people to St. Jude's Children's Hospital since '91.
Oh, prove it.
Oh, bringing everything I've sent them. For sure.
I believe you. What are you talking about?
No, but I mean, it's not that I'm not charitable.
How much money have you sent to them?
I don't know. I mean, offhand, I send as much as I can.
We get in this argument all the time, and then I ask him the address, and
it's in Tennessee, Dan. So listen, buddy. Don't be going to my finances.
Dan,
you know what I mean? It's like I know what I send and what I don't send.
Dan claims you don't send anything to.
Well, how does he know? He don't live with me. I'm glad he doesn't. Believe me.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'd pay to see that too.
What is Dan? What is Dan stalking me? I mean, he's come on.
It is weird. You're right.
Is weird.
Dan, he's right. What are you stalking him?
No, I'm not stalking him. It's just that every word that comes out of his mouth is a lie.
Okay, Pinocchio. Let's bring some of your stars from Chicago here, buddy. Man up already.
Don't piss Tubby, man.
Some of the people you said you're going to stars, you're going to bring here. Man up already, there, Pinocchio.
He's going to stink. He's going to stink
I
you
guess
out.
Jeff Garland wasn't on the show last week, you tub of goo.
Who's out there?
Jeff Garland wasn't here last week, was he, you tub of goo?
Yeah, like you know him, Dan. All right, buddy. Let's pack it up a little bit, Dan. What do you know? He's like his barber starred cousin's sister or something, Dan.
Yeah,
Come on.
worry.
Don't worry.
The ratings spiked when your mom and your brother were on.
Well, yeah,
that was our biggest watched show.
Dan, if you say one more thing about my family, I'm going to take you downstairs and give you a good one. But I'm serious, buddy. Don't mess with my family. Keep your effing mouth shut about my family, Dan. I'm serious.
Brian, last week...
Keep your mouth shut about my family, Dan, because I will knock you the fuck out, man.
Last week, a joke that he wrote was, I'm going to kick you in the butt so penises fall out.
Well, that's Dan's lifestyle. What can I say?
Stay away from the family. I told you.
I told you, Dan, please.
I think you should take him.
I never said nothing about your family, Dan. Just keep my family out of this.
All right. Well, I heard him say other stuff about your family.
Oh, it's not helping. Believe me, it's not helping me.
All right. Oh man. You got mad. See, but I think in Dan's defense, he wasn't insulting them.
No,
he
I
just said they weren't ratings grabbers just because they're not famous, but
I just took it the wrong way.
it got vicious. But, you get the families, in your defense, Mike, families should not be brought up.
Yeah, I never.
Dan, that is hard.
If I have a problem with somebody, it's just them. That's it.
Well, no, you might have a problem with someone's family. Now, as an Italian American, have you rethought your views on Al Capone? That was another argument we always had. One of your heroes is Al Capone.
Well,
I would say as an Italian, there's other like Mario Cuomo. I was upset when he died, and I tweeted out I was proud to be an Italian American with Mario Cuomo, but Al Capone probably not the same thing. Mike, your thoughts?
Well, there's a big difference. People said he was a nice guy, but that doesn't mean you're a good guy.
Explain what you just said, Mike.
Can I go take a nap?
No.
I thought you were.
No, he has been. I mean, what do you call it? Put out.
What's the difference between
Let
a
it
nice
go,
guy-
Pinocchio. Oh, wait, that's Dan.
What's a nice guy and a good guy? But it's the same thing.
I
isn't
mean,
it?
nice. The devil could be nice and charming, like the devil. It doesn't mean you got a good heart.
Oh, so you mean nice to like lure you in?
Yeah, like that.
Like a luring, like a vamp, like a
Yeah,
woman.
like Swedish Pie, like he probably was. You know?
Right. Okay. Again, the benefit we did the other night, all three of us were. I'm the only one nice enough to have done all three shows.
I was not asked.
It was a
Me too,
comedy
guys.
club crawl, and started out at Stand Up New York, and then we went to the New York Comedy Club where I saw Mikey, and then we ended up both Stand Up New York and the New York Comedy Club were sold out, I believe, and then
Bronston hosted.
Then we go where Gino is hosting.
Here we go.
There were literally obviously it's not your fault, but there were 7 people at the Village Underground too, and it felt like it. You know what was cool about it was charming. It felt like an early gig. It felt like all of us were doing an early '90s gig. Gino's hosting. Todd Barry was there. Myself, Bobby Kelly.
Bobby Kelly had the line of the show. He's like, "It's dead." He's like, "I guess Parkinson is a 2-show benefit. It's a 2-show disease."
Well, again, and then Rick Shapiro, of course. I had to leave early. Well, I would die. I've died to see Rick Shapiro do a 7-person.
He's amazing.
How did he do? Was it fun?
He's great. He's like no one you've seen. Well, not like if you've never seen him do comedy, it's not like there's no one to compare him to.
No,
Wouldn't you say?
He can. He's mine. I know him
He
20 years, and
he
he's
He's
unbelievable. He's
people are like, oh, this guy is really gritty, or this guy's really raw. He's raw. He is what raw is. Whatever is about to come out. He
might get nude.
Yeah, he would do it.
He talks honestly about street hustling.
One
about
time-
blowing guys or letting guys blow them.
One time I was doing a show with him years ago. This is how long ago it was back when Stand Up New York used to have a Thursday 1 a.m. show. That's how
They used to do prom shows there.
but I mean, it was actual like a late night. And 2 old women are talking, and he just snaps. He's like, what did he scream? Something like, he's like, come on, ladies. Like, I'm trying to work here. He's like, it's like you've never carried a dead hooker 30 yards while you're carrying her saying, tomorrow I'm going to quit heroin.
A dead hooker? What?
You never carried a dead hooker to a lake 30 yards screaming, tomorrow I'm going to quit heroin. Not that moment. It's like, tomorrow, this is it.
No, that's
and it was so raw. You could tell it wasn't like a bit. He was like having a flashback. I love this guy.
I worked with him last summer. Wait, so you think he killed a whore?
No, I think he just was doing heroin with her and she fucking died. I honestly believe that. And he's like, I gotta stop doing heroin. First I'm gonna do hers because she's dead. She's not gonna do it. And then tomorrow,
oh my God.
Tomorrow it's all gonna turn around for Rick Shapiro.
No, but somebody's picking her about how he dressed one day. He goes, I can't help it. I ran out of money in the 70s.
That's pretty great too.
Again, sometimes he just blurts out, God, I miss cocaine. That's a segue. So I want to talk a little bit, you guys being comedians, one of my favorite people.
But pause it there. I'll look him up. Rick Shapiro. Oh shit, I recognise him. I don't know where from though. But I do recognise him. I'm gonna look him up on. Yeah, I'll get a video of him. Yeah, I'll get that one. So yeah, he's not got a lot of views to be fair, so he's not a known comedian. He's on Tough Crowd. Good old Colin. I can't focus. Oh, look, it says here, the worst comedian ever. I can't focus, the worst comedian ever. Rick Shapiro. Cringe comedy. 2 bits here called cringe comedy, I'll save them as well. I'll do them first. Yeah, anyway, well, we started this now, so yeah, I will carry it on. Probably tomorrow night I'll do this. But yeah, I'll probably do now 1 episode of this, and Opie and Anthony 1 of this, Opie and Anthony, and keep them 2 going back and forth. Because I want to do some longer Opie and Anthony, some Andrew Dice Clay ones. Intern David still, I've got loads of them to do still. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's the reaction. I'm fucking, my eyes are about to fall out my head. But yeah, that's the reaction. Sweet.